Hi there, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Mrs. C here. I'm coming to you again with another one of my videos. I just want to tell you something here. When I talk about walking, and I'm walking on a treadmill, right now I'm not walking or doing anything at this moment. I just want to chat with you here. Walking on a treadmill. I come from humble beginnings. I haven't always had a treadmill. I'm blessed. So I do have a treadmill at this time, so I'm able to use it. The Lord has brought us from a mighty long way. Again, like I said, I come from humble beginnings. I come from the projects. So I did not always have, we were poor. I didn't know that we were poor. Actually, we were poor. We didn't even have the OR at the end of our poor. But I did not know that we were poor back then, or po, because everybody was in that same predicament, you know. Again, I came from the projects. So growing up in the projects, everybody stereotype people that are from there, that they're just nothing. They're not going to be nothing, or be about anything, and that's not true. A lot of people came from the projects that are successful and have been successful. God has blessed them. Me and my husband are one of the two. And I know of a whole lot of other people that have also was born and raised in the projects. I've lived there for about 15 or so years, and it was home. It was home for me, and it's cold right now out here. And I remember back then living in the projects, and so you had to wait for them to cut on the heat, the administrative office or whatever. They had control over the heat. So in October, it could be freezing or something, or whenever, it gets really cold. We could not go and, like you have a thermostat today. You couldn't turn on a thermostat back then. There was no thermostat. You had to wait for them to cut on the heat. And I remember when the heat came on, we were all, yay, the heat is on, because you could hear the pipes clicking, click, 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 click. And the heat is getting ready to come on. And we are so pumped up about the heat coming on because it'd be cold. See, in the projects, the walls were brick walls on the inside as well. And the floor was like a concrete floor, although you had rugs on it, but it was still cold, And so, of course, you have socks on and everything like that. And back then, before, don't cut on your oven and, for the heat things, back then, that's what we did. We cut the oven on in the kitchen. We had a 3-bedroom apartment or, apartment home. There was a kitchen. There was a living room, a bathroom, a full bathroom. And, of course, closet space. And it was home to me, home to us. And we enjoyed that safe haven at that time, As time had gone on, project living had changed. So again, like I said, I lived there about 15 years when I was a little girl, and until I got married. I got married at 19. So I lived there till then. But all in between time, again, like I said, it was home. And that's all we knew. And as we got older, now as you get older, you start realizing, like, wait a minute, we're poor people, And again, like I said, I remember that heat thing, going back to the heat. And it was no heat, and you had to wait for them to cut on that heat in the building. And once it came on, you was all pumped up. Yeah, heat. I remember Christmas, mini Christmas. And as a little girl, you're thinking like, because you watch TV. I remember back then, see, we were poor. And like I said, poor. I remember back then, we didn't have a color TV. So back then, you used this little clear paper. You put the green at the bottom. You had like a reddish color or pink in the middle. And you had like a blue piece of it was like paper at the top. And it wasn't actually paper. It was more like a plastic that you put across it that stuck, how like a saran wrap, something like that stuck to the TV, so you can have a color TV back then, because we didn't have it. And I remember the TVs, you had to hit the side of it to get the channels to work right. And Those were the days, but back to when I was a little girl, first Christmas, I remember, thinking like, man, you know, in my little mind, and I didn't say man back then. These are words that you grow up and you learn to use, keeping it real. It's like, I wonder how Santa Claus is going to come down a chimney, but we didn't have a chimney, So Santa Claus, as a little girl, you're thinking, how are you going to get here, or get, and the different little thoughts that go through your head as a child. I remember on Easter, I don't know whether y'all remember these songs back then. Here come Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. And I remember the commercial that used to come on. And it was this bunny hopping, and these kids were all running around and got the Easter basket. I ain't seen the little black kids, but they're, little kids running with their Easter baskets. And at that time, we lived in the high rise of the projects. We didn't move down to the low rise until later. And that's where most of my life was, in the low rise, because you had high rise and you had low rise. In the high rise, we lived on 8th floor. So I remember like how the Easter rabbit, how the bunny rabbit, how's, he's going to deliver Easter baskets. He's going to come up the not the escalator, the elevator, how is he going to get here, and it looks like he's not going to come here, because all the houses that he seemed to go to are houses, and the skies are blue, and the grass is green. He's not going to come. Is he going to come all the way up here? I used to, as a child, you wonder, about those things. Easter Bunny never came in our neighborhood. And the Santa Claus definitely didn't come down a chimney, because we didn't have one, Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. And remembering when getting Christmas gifts, and actually not getting Christmas gifts. Let me take it back. At times, because we used to wrap empty boxes and put it on a tree to pretend we got Christmas gifts. I got some stories to tell about, growing up in the projects. But it made me to where I am today. I go all the way back there to right now. So when I talk about, I'm walking on my treadmill. Not everybody have a treadmill, but we all, God willing, or, hopefully we all have feet, where we could stand up, I'm just standing up now. We could just march right in place, just to move. You don't have to be walking on a treadmill, everybody don't have that, because I didn't always have that. I'm blessed. I got one now, but like I said, I came from humble beginnings, not having anything. And now being able to say, I can walk on this, or come down in my basement, and walk on this, God is good, so I just wanted to just come on with that concerning my humble beginnings. How many of you have grown up in the projects? And one of the things too, before I get too far, because on all my videos, I never say like, subscribe, or share. So I'm saying like, subscribe, or share. If you find my content that I give to you pleasing to your ears and to your sight, like, subscribe, and share. And also to comment. How many of you have grown up in the projects and know those humble beginnings? Not realizing that you was poor, because everybody around you was poor, and it was not until you get older and you realize like, wow, we really don't have anything, and you start looking at TV and seeing other things, or, just a simple little commercials, but going back to Christmas and things like that, and Easter, and looking at the TV and seeing this bunny rabbit, hopping through the community, but didn't seem like it come to our community, or Santa Claus coming down we don't have one of those. So, of course, as you grow older, you realize concerning Santa Claus, who Santa Claus really was. But back then, as a child, you thought about those things. So, again, coming from humble beginnings, I am so blessed, and I thank God every day. I thank Him. Every time He wakes me up for another day, I thank Him. So I hope that you've moved around some. I'm going to get ready and start my walk on this treadmill, get it going, so that I can, can move a little bit. I've been moving today. I got up, of course, early this morning, and you eat your breakfast, what you're gonna have. The day I had pancakes, I made some scrambled eggs, and I had bacon. Now the bacon, that's cholesterol. The scrambled eggs, what I did with my scrambled eggs, how I make them, I may make 5 eggs with 2 yolks in it between me and my husband, because it's basically is like a egg white in a sense, but I have 2 yolks because I didn't want to, you don't want to totally take it away, especially because I'm not the only one that's eating it. I want it to be pleasing to the palate somewhat. Although I can eat egg white and it's okay, but you want it to be pleasing to the palate somewhat when you're eating it. But that's what I had today thus far, and I was nibbling on an apple a few minutes ago. So, and the pineapple cake that I had made on a previous video, we only got 1 little slice left. So that pineapple cake is some kind of good, y'all. Go back and look at my other video and see how I made it, and you try it yourself. But again, I just want to come on here briefly to, I don't know how brief this is. It was a little long-winded, but I just wanted to just let you know that I didn't always have this treadmill here. Flip it around. I didn't always have this treadmill. I didn't always have this. So, I have it now. So I am thankful. I am blessed. It looked like a little red mark. What the heck, my Bob? I'm blessed. So, I'm going to get moving. I'm going to start moving here. I'm going to start my little 2 speed. I don't go no faster than 2 speed at this point, although I can go faster. But I'm going to, do my little 2 speed and walk myself and do what I got to do. So y'all follow along with me. Walk it out with me. And again, I'm doing this for health reasons, to maintain my health. I'm going to sometime get on here and I'll be talking about other things and just life in general, like I said before. But I am currently, I'm doing this. I did it yesterday. I've been doing it every day since the first video that I shared with you concerning that I had not walked since December. That's a long time. And also, too, I'm getting used to with holding this phone, because they say you're supposed to hold it sideways, but it's more comfortable holding it, up and down, because it fits in my hand better. Sideways, I didn't realize this phone was as heavy as it was, because I guess I'm holding it off on the side. And then also, too, viewing this thing, I found myself, I'm looking down because I'm looking down at myself as I'm talking, but my eyes are cast down. If I look up at the little dot, I guess it's up. But anyhow, I'm going to do my little walk here and get my exercise going. And and I hope I'm not going up and down too much while I'm talking with you, my hands or anything going up and down. But I again, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and just let you know that, I've not always had it with the treadmill, And if you don't have a treadmill, you don't need a treadmill if you don't have one. God willing, if you want one, you can get one, God willing, if you have it to be able to do. But if not, just move. Just stand and walk in place. And if you don't have legs, wiggle your hips side to side. Sitting in your chair. Just move. Lift your arms. Just move. And like I said, I do this here, this walk. I try to do it for 30 minutes. Like I said, 10, 15, 5 minutes, however long I do it, I'm going to do it. But it's for health reasons and, to maintain my health. So as you walk along with me through this life journey and through my different stories that I'll be talking about, you'll be getting in step just like me. You'll be moving some of those, like my case, moving those pancakes and those eggs down, so it can go into my digestive system, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyhow, I'll chat with y'all later. You have a blessed rest of your day, not a stressed day, Don't put up with no mess today, as I always say. In the meantime, in between time, I will chat with you later.